Hello everyone, this is Jack Frost with your daily update for the Ethereum Technicals and Solana. For the Ethereum Technicals, price has declined after finding resistance at 2800, finding support around 2400 for the very short term. Volume supports downwards movement at this time frame with the strongest volume on the bearish candlesticks and a push on the most recent bearish candlestick just here. ADX continues to increase with a bearish trend that is not extreme and not yet in danger of ending, expecting price to continue lower. On-balance volume has found resistance at prior support, giving a slight bearish signal, then followed by some downwards movement. RSI is neutral and declining. Money flow also neutral and overall declining. Both RSI and money flow have a little bit of room before they may enter oversold and quite a bit before they may enter overbought. Additionally, at this time frame, neither exhibit divergence. ATR has increased, moving overall flat for the short term as price declines, giving an overall bullish outlook for volatility as it previously increased along with price. And as this trend indicated by ADX is not yet extreme, it does expect price to continue lower to where ADX may reach extreme or very extreme conditions, while RSI and money flow may enter oversold and or exhibit some divergence before the trend may be in danger of ending at the weekly time frame. On the daily technicals for Ethereum, price has declined, finding support around 2100, falling ever so slightly short of it, now moving upwards, finding resistance at 2400. Volume supports downwards movement at this time frame on the daily chart as well, with the strongest volume on the bearish candlesticks here, particularly this last short-term low just here where price did fall just short of support at 2100, and a push on this most recent bearish candlestick further supports this volume profile. ADX continues to increase with an extreme bearish trend. On-balance volume currently has no new range, though it does have this resistance line with these two tests just here. The on-balance volume line is currently at resistance. It may give a bullish signal if it breaks above resistance, or a bearish signal if it reacts to resistance and continues a little bit lower. RSI is neutral and increasing with some bullish divergence where RSI makes these higher points while price closes lower. Money flow also neutral and increasing with the same bullish divergence. This is pretty strong bullish divergence between both money flow, RSI, and price, where price closes lower, and both of these indicators make higher points. ATR increases a little bit for the short term as price moves sideways, giving a bearish outlook for volatility for the very short term. And as the trend indicated by ADX is extreme while we have the bullish divergence between both price, RSI, and money flow, it may indicate that the trend could end at some point soon, though it may still continue to where ADX reaches very extreme. RSI and money flow may exhibit double bullish divergence and or enter oversold before the trend may end. On the Solana weekly chart, this wave count sees primary wave 4 complete at this last low just here, with price to now overall continue upwards for primary wave 5 and the end of cycle wave 3. Cycle wave 3 has a target calculated at 2887, which is the 11.09 extreme Fibonacci ratio between that and cycle wave 1. If primary wave 4 continues any lower, it cannot move into primary wave 1 price territory below 26.4105, and this Elliott channel drawn around the primary degree movements has been redrawn from the previous weekly charts using Elliott's second technique now, from the end of primary wave 2 to the end of primary wave 4 with a copy on the end of primary wave 3. Price hovers around the lower edge of this Elliott channel, though as it is expected to continue upwards, the end of primary wave 5 and cycle wave 3 may find resistance at the upper edge of this Elliott channel. However, it is also possible that with the fifth wave ending a third wave 1 degree higher, it ends with a blow off top, as is common for a fifth wave ending a third wave 1 degree higher, particularly for cryptocurrencies like Solana. This low at the end of primary wave 4 on the weekly chart. Is this low on the main daily chart, we can see more detail for the downwards movement labeled primary wave 4 and the beginning of the upwards movement for primary wave 5. An Elliott channel is drawn around primary wave 4 from the beginning of intermediate wave W to the end of intermediate wave X with a copy on the end of intermediate wave W. The end of intermediate wave Y has fallen just short of the lower edge of this Elliott channel, and price as it continues upwards has tested resistance at the upper edge twice here and is expected to break above with a full green candlestick above and not touching for the upwards movement for the smaller degree movements, particularly minute and minor degrees within primary wave 5. If that does happen, price breaking above the Elliott channel, it will add confidence to this wave count, seeing upwards movement to continue, and above that, a point above 193.6182 would add further confidence to this wave count, as it is the invalidation for the alternate, which I will get to in a second, and additionally it would break the pattern of lower lows and lower highs as shown throughout primary wave 4. Within primary wave 5, any second wave corrective movement cannot move below its start at 111.4255, so if minute wave 2 just here wants to move any lower, it cannot move below this point. On the daily alternate chart for Solana, this wave count sees primary wave 4 incomplete to continue lower, currently expecting overlapping third waves at minute, minuet, and subminuet degrees within minor wave C of intermediate wave Y. A confidence point is set at 111.4255 as it is the invalidation for the main wave count as you previously saw. And within minor wave C, any second wave corrective movement cannot move above its start at 193.6182, which is the confidence point for the main chart as you saw previously. A best fit channel is drawn around primary wave 4, which may provide support as price continues lower. And additionally, we have this target range calculated for the minor and intermediate degree movements between 95 and 84. 95.3167 is the 1.618 logarithmic Fibonacci ratio of minor wave A, which is our target for minor wave C. And below that, 84.7439 is the 1.618 logarithmic Fibonacci ratio of intermediate wave W, which is our target for intermediate wave Y. And this gives a range for where these waves may be labeled complete. On the technical weekly chart for Solana, price has declined after increasing, finding resistance at 210 for the very short term, moving up after finding support around 127. Volume supports upwards movement for the weekly time frame at this point, with the strongest volume on the bullish candlesticks. On-balance volume continues within a range, currently giving no signal, though it did previously give a bearish signal, reacting to resistance, which was then followed by some downwards movement. RSI neutral and declining, with a little bit of room before it may enter oversold and quite a bit before it may enter overbought. Money flow also neutral and overall declining, with quite a bit before it may enter overbought or oversold. ATR previously increasing along with price, it currently moves overall sideways with a slight bearish slope as price consolidates, giving an overall bullish outlook for volatility at the weekly time frame. As ADX declines at the weekly time frame for Solana, we use the model of stochastics and support and resistance, which suggests a downward swing may continue towards support at or just below 118, where price finds that support point and stochastics may enter oversold. On the technical daily chart for Solana, price has declined after this last high just here, finding resistance at 190. This last low just here moving just below support at 118. After that, price has moved overall sideways for the very short term, finding support at 127 with this bullish engulfing pattern as price now moves a little bit higher. An additional high above 193.6182, which is this last high just here, would see some confidence in the bullish movement as it would break the pattern of lower lows and lower highs, as I previously mentioned on the main Elliott Wave chart. Volume is strongest on the bearish candlesticks at this time frame for the short term, seeing volume support downwards movement. We do still have some strength in upwards movement, particularly in relation to their neighboring bearish candlesticks. ADX continues to increase with a bearish trend that is not extreme and not yet in danger of ending. RSI neutral and increasing with some slight bullish divergence here, where RSI makes these higher points and price closes lower. Money flow declining quite steeply, though it did not enter oversold. ATR declining as price moves overall sideways. An overall bullish outlook for volatility remains as ATR previously increased along with price. And as this trend indicated by ADX is not yet extreme, it does expect price to continue lower to where ADX may reach extreme or very extreme conditions, while RSI and money flow may enter oversold. That's all for me with your daily update for Solana and the Ethereum Technicals. As always, if you want the Ethereum Elliott Wave count, you can sign up for that at pureelliottwave.com using the link in the description below. Thank you, and I hope everyone has a good day.